Need a second to get it. Here it comes.
Am I still slow motion?
Oh, you're
No,
fine.
you're fine. You're fine now. Just hold on.
Okay. Hey,
All right.
hey,
Go ahead, brother.
hey.
The mayor of Rock and Roll and Friends with the mayor himself, Sal Serchia. Go ahead, Sal.
Yeah, baby. How you doing? I hope everybody's. First of all, I got to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Right? Tomorrow's
Yes.
Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Mayor of Rock and Roll and Friends, featuring Gene Puro, also known as Dr. G, and Fran Sonera. And tonight we got a great show for you folks because we're at the one and only Larry Mitchell, a good friend of mine. We met probably 1983. We've been friends for like 40 years, right? And Larry is a Grammy Award-winning producer, engineer, and guitarist. And I have to add instrumental songwriter because even Larry doesn't promote himself as instrumental songwriter because he has tons of CDs and instrumentals are still writing songs. It just doesn't have no singing or lyrics. I mean, it's still a song, though, right?
Oh yeah.
So we have to
But
add that to Larry's thing there, instrumental songwriter. And let's start the show. Let's start the show, brother Larry. How you doing?
I'm good. I also write songs with lyrics too. I co-write with artists that I produce sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as that's what we're going to talk about. The stuff you've been doing with other people. But as your albums, they've always been just guitar solo instrumentals.
Yes.
So, but then we got to add that because I was reading your thing, and I said, well, Larry's also a songwriter and an instrumental songwriter. It's the same as writing songs, right? I mean, the melodies are there. It's just guitar melodies and not singing melodies. But me and Larry go back a long time. I met Larry probably 1983 or 84. He used to have a Rush cover band, the band Rush.
Tribute, cover tribute.
And Fran like this with Fran's from Richmond Hill. And where I met him was on Liberty Avenue and 114th Street. They had the stage set up, and he played with Leo Rizzo, and I forgot who the drummer was. Who was the drummer, Larry?
Jack Cucciolino.
Yes, I remember him. I can't remember his name. But Larry went on to doing incredible stuff, and Leo Rizzo, who was the keyboard player, he played with Debbie Gibson for years. And what did Jack do? I don't even know.
I don't know if Jack did much much playing after that.
Gotcha.
I think he still plays. I haven't talked to Jack in a long time. I haven't seen him. We did. Yeah, he still plays because maybe I want to say late 90s. I went back to New York and I needed to do a gig in Island Park, and so Leo played. I think Leo played, and Jack played drums with me. So playing my stuff. We didn't do any Rush stuff, but it was fun though.
Right. And you guys, I don't know if you guys know. I mean, I want to get through some of the oldest days first, and then we'll get to what Larry's been doing now with the producing people, engineering people, winning all kind of awards, We'll start from the beginning, and go to some of that stuff. Now, also, Larry, Gene, and Fran, if you don't know, Larry played guitar on Rick Ocasek's first solo album.
It was the third solo album, Fireball Zone.
Right.
Second one. Steve Stevens from the neighborhood played on the first one.
Oh, that wasn't his first one?
No, that was just, I think it's the second or third one I played on. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, the one with his face is with the flower, like the close up, the album cover with half his face or something like that.
Fireball Zone. And we had a song on the record called Rockaway, too.
And also, Larry played with Tracy Chapman.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just sharing this on my Facebook page so people can tune in some more, like right now. We're live.
Yeah, put him up. Get him up there.
Let's get him up here. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, if you guys look on YouTube, there's a cool Sandra Bullock, a video that's a song That's a mixture of a Jesus Christ Superstar song and Manic Depression by Jimi Hendrix, and it goes back and forth.
Manic
And Larry's the guitar player in the video as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
that was trippy. No one recognized it. I don't know. I didn't realize that you had seen that, but no one recognizes me in that.
Because, you know, the camera's moving so fast, but I was watching it on, I don't know, VH1, wherever I saw it. I said, that guy looks just like Larry. I said, it is Larry.
Yeah,
Because it was moving pretty quick and everything. So, Larry, tell the audience, we got, matter of fact, before we start again, I want to tell, 10 years ago, Larry was on my radio show. And we were on live on my radio show 10 years ago. And we had 13,000 people tuned in worldwide. 13,000 people tuned in worldwide, all over the world. Italy, Japan, you know, you name it, all over the place.
Nice.
Larry, tell the audience a little bit about some of your experiences with these people you played with, and you know, get to what you're doing now. If anybody has a question for Larry.
I didn't catch the last part. You froze there for a second.
Yeah, Gene, a friend, you have a question for Larry?
I'm looking at the amazing amount of people that you worked with. Tracy Chapman, Billy Squire, Steve Vai. I can't believe like the background. And I went through your page and I was listening to a lot of music that you played, and I saw the jam that you did with Sal, and it was just amazing. So like through all the years, who was like who was your inspiration when you started? Because your guitar playing is amazing. You just have so much of like I hear like Jimi Hendrix, and it's just like I don't know, I was just mesmerized. I can't explain it. When I just listened to it, it was just like precise. But you just get into it, make it look so easy. So who inspired you from the beginning to do what you're doing today?
I believe when I was really, really young, my mom said I used to grab the broom when Elvis would come on.
Oh.
Then I got into like, you know, funk and R&B, and then I got into Prince. But the first stuff I heard of Prince was his rock stuff on the you know the first Prince album, Bambi, and
right.
It was I was stunned. I was like, what is this? And then I got into Santana a little bit, and then one of the guys in high school turned me on to Van Halen. In fact, his mom worked at Nassau Coliseum, and they had extra tickets to see Van Halen in '79, and we went to Van Halen. That changed everything. That was like, oh, I want to do that. I definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of David Lee Roth that was like that made me want, you know, because David Lee Roth was like all over the stage. Yeah. And I heard everything that Eddie was doing, and I was like, this is great. But it was David Lee Roth that pushed it over the tipping point for me. Right. And then out of high school later on, I was in right at the end of high school, I was in the Rush tribute band. And I remembered that I had liked some Zeppelin stuff, and I loved the Police, which is actually cool because I got to play with Stuart Copeland a few years ago, which was very trippy. But I got into like just music. I listened to a lot. I still do listen to a lot. I mean, I'm a big fan of Peter Gabriel now, Tori Amos. I like Ed Sheeran. I like John Mayer. I still like all the rock bands. I love King's X. I still listen to a lot of King's X. I listen to the 80s. You can't beat music. You can't beat the 80s for music. I know the 60s and 70s were iconic eras, but if you say to 10 people, music in the 80s, they're all going to be like, yes, it was great. And one's going to be into disco. One's going to be into new wave. One's going to be into hair metal bands. One's going to be into Metallica. One's going to be into, to Rush and King's X. Yep. All the pop bands, Michael Jackson, Prince was big in the 80s, Stevie Wonder, David Bowie, Paul McCartney was releasing stuff back in the, it was just an unbelievable time. So 10 people could to say, yes, it was the most amazing time, and their top 10 could not be any match anybody else's top 10, but you can't argue with it because it was all huge and everything was catchy. Everything had a hook. You could say, oh, I know that song by listening to the snare drum sound or or the bass line. It was just a great time for music. So I loved that time. I love being in New York City. going to the China Club, going to Nirvana. Remember the Club Nirvana?
Yeah.
Of course.
The whole Bleecker Street, was a totally different vibe than that. It was great. Then you hit the Village Gate, the Bottom Line, totally different vibe. But it was the music. The city was alive with music, and any moment of the week you could hear and see some amazing stuff. And you could also meet anybody, as like back in the China Club, you could be, bumping shoulders with anybody. Anybody big, anybody small, anybody who was going to be big, because a lot of people came out of that era and at that time period in Manhattan, and they're what the world considers some of the best musicians out there.
Yeah,
it's a great time.
Yeah, and the MTV thing, helped a lot because it was a lot of different kind of music, and it was like after a couple of years, they started categorizing things more heavy metal or the Seattle sound. But during the '80s, you had the Stray Cats, rockabilly. You had Michael Jackson, pop. You had the heavy rock band. A little bit of everything. Prince, this, that. So later on, they started getting too much with, you had to either be a hair band or you had to be the Seattle, the clothes styles change and everything. But in the '80s, everybody was it was much better times. And the MTV thing was making bands that were like, not selling that well, all of a sudden selling 7-8 million records because of MTV. It was a magical time. I mean, me and Larry lived it together over there, at the club and all that stuff.
Someone should bring MTV back just for nostalgia.
Yeah. I love that.
Play music.
Oh, who's this now? Look at this. Okay.
These are some pictures, Larry, with your friends and other musicians, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
From your page.
It's John Petrucci, Larry DiMaggio, see Lee Sklar. If you don't know who Lee Sklar is.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows them.
Yeah. Lee Sklar. Pat Metheny's on there. Who else is on there? I can't see. Oh, there's Steve Vai.
Amazing people here.
Yeah, over the years. Where'd you get this?
It's on your page. It's on your page.
Very
it's on
good.
your website.
This is a surprise to me. I'm glad you did this. This is great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're kind of like giving a little idea who you were with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing amount of people.
Yes, Phil from Bon Jovi.
Wow.
Yeah, Larry played with so many people. I mean, we used to also have open mic jams at the clubs and February's, Nirvana. Oh man, it was magical times. I mean, it's just like sometimes I can't believe that that's over. It's like because in my mind, like you, Larry, we talked about this once before. How like the '90s and the '80s is a real long time ago, but in our minds, it's not a long time ago because we're still there.
Back like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
I
can't, sometimes to me, because we haven't changed much in our looks and we didn't age that much either, me and you. And I'm still there. In my mind, I'm still in the 80s and 90s. And maybe that's the reason why I don't change, because I'm always thinking that way. Sometimes you become what you think about all day. And age won't get in the way. That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, everybody I say, Sal, you look exactly the same. I put up sometimes videos on YouTube from gigs from 1987, 1988. They said, you know what they say to me? They said, Sal, I didn't know you played last night. We would have came. I said, that video's from 40 years ago. I told them that video's from 40 years ago. What are you talking about? They said, how could that be? You look exactly the same. Well, I didn't really change. I never grew a mustache. I never grew a beard. People change their look. I just basically always just kept my hair the same pretty much. Yeah.
I changed a little bit, but pretty much.
No, but you look pretty much the same too. You do. You really do. You wear the hat and all that. You always wore a hat.
Larry, do you travel right now, like around the world, or you just stay locally?
No.
I go wherever people want me. So I just got back last week from Australia. I was in Australia for 30 days and played there. The response was really great. I love it. I was there last year for 2 months and played. It's funny because I played some big festivals last year, and I played a coffee shop solo, and the coffee shop was amazing.
I love that. That's so.
It was absolutely amazing. I went back to it and played there again this year, and it was just as cool. So I play wherever people want me to play. You know, where people. I'm very happy and grateful that I get up every day and I get to play guitar, and then that's one thing, and then there's a whole nother level when people want to hear you play and see you play. So
Right.
I'm forever grateful. So I've done like beating my head on the wall trying to get into places that are supposedly cool, but don't pay anything, and you know it's a struggle. So I go where people want me to play, you know. So I travel a lot.
You know what would be amazing, Sal? We organize a big deal with all these guys that you know, including Larry. We get something going in New York City because you know what? New York's going to come back again. I pray every day that it's going to be the way it was. We should just organize that. You know so many people. You know so many people. Gene, you know so many people. I know people. We really should get a big jam together. I think that would be crazy amazing.
Cool.
Well, you even talked about doing something like that at Mulcahy's. If you want,
Yeah,
you can hook it up.
Famous music hall. And Larry Romano wanted to play. He's got friends. You got friends. There's so many people. Like Larry. Oh my gosh, Desi would come probably from Nashville. Tommy, you know that we'd have a great. That would be great. I'm telling you, we should really.
No. If you got some connections there, set it up, and we'll all jam. We'll have you could do a benefit for some good causes for kids or whatever. You know, I would love to. I'd love to do it. Mulcahy, you know Mulcahy's, right, Larry? Right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Did you ever play there?
I probably did. I can't remember right now, but yeah. I played all over the island.
You know that what was a friend, the place that was right next door to the Belmore Theater that closed down. He played there many times. CJ Farrell's?
Oh yeah,
CJ Farrell's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, remember that? They closed down.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
But the owner owns this other place right over here that they have a jam every Tuesday night, right in Massapequa. So that's a thing that's going on there right now, and it's the same owner from that club.
Okay.
Where's that?
In Massapequa. It's I forgot the name of the street. Right, you know when you're on the Sunrise and the Massapequa Diner is like right on my right side. Yeah. You make a left down that block and then a quick right, and there's a new bar there, and it's owned by the CJ Farrell's.
Oh, because I live. It's right near my house.
Right, that's by you. You live there.
Yeah.
All right, so Gene, do you have any questions for Larry?
Yeah, I got a couple questions. Larry, when you started playing guitar, was that your first instrument that you wanted to do, or did you do any other instruments?
Well, I used to strum the broom, and I had a toy guitar, but my love was drums. I had a toy drum set, but my mom was a no idle threat mom, and she threw my drum set out the window, third-story window in Brooklyn, because I kept playing, and she was trying to watch TV.
Oh, jeez.
I remember you telling me that story on the radio show.
You know, it's funny. My parents threw my drum set out when I was young too, because it was a little toy drum set, and then I got into the guitar and bass guitar and then keyboards. But it's kind of it's weird that you tell me that. But we have a guest person that wanted to come in tonight. I don't know if he's going to come. It's Peter Rivera from I forget the name of the band. Oh God, you got to give me a break here. Peter Rivera. He's from one of the bands from the 60s.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Darn it.
My friend that's in the that has the guitar place, Fort Madison Guitars, was friends with the guys from the Wrecking Crew. And Peter Rivera was friends with him for over 40 years. He's another musician. And I can't think of the name of the band. I'm getting a brain fart, but anybody out there can remember, let me know. I can almost see the name of the band. I just can't say it. You know, it's one of the weird things.
And they were a famous band that had a
famous band in the 60s. Yeah. Rare Earth. Thank you. Rare Earth. They did a couple of the Temptation songs, and I mean, come on. Yeah. Rare Earth. Yeah.
Very cool.
He's got some new music he's working on too. So Larry, do you have any new music you're working on?
Always. I'm trying to get a single. So next week I turn 60.
Oh wow!
God bless you.
Yeah.
We're in the 60 club. We're in the 60 club.
Yeah.
It's the next Friday and Saturday. I'm having a big show. Lots of people coming in from out of town. I'm doing a show, an intimate, mellow show on Friday, and then a rockin' show on Saturday. And I'm trying to release this one new single next Friday. We'll see if I can get it done by then. And
make sure you send it to Sal and me, and then we'll put it on our radio station.
Okay, I definitely will. Thank you.
I would love to
Larry
do that.
has a lot of CD. I have a nice stack of Larry Mitchell CDs myself.
You gotta send some
more
songs
than that. I only have about 6 or 7 of them, but I know you got a lot more than that.
I have 12 official released albums, and then there's a couple of songs scattered here on different other singles here on different compilation records, and then there's stuff I've written for other artists and or with the other artists. So
yeah,
good, yeah.
Now you just came back from when I booked you on the show. You were just boarding the plane from Australia back to LA. You were going to LA and all that stuff. Now, what were you doing while you were in Australia? What is that?
Playing. The first show, I landed, and 2 days later, I was doing the show that was a benefit for a place called the Events for the Greater Good, and it was a festival, and it was really nice in North Noosa Beach. It was just a stunning scenery and situation. Other than this giant spider that ended up on the stage in front of the first artist that played, a bird dropped a. I don't know if you know anything about Australia, but everything there is bigger. They say everything's bigger in Texas. No, everything's bigger in Australia. This giant spider.
Wow.
So I did that, and then the next day I did a festival called the Yowie Festival. And I did a couple of events for places that host kids with autism.
Oh, nice.
That play music, and I that's a thing that I try and help out as much as possible. So I did a couple of events with that, and then the last week was crazy. I did a couple of master classes, one on production and engineering, and one on just guitar and the fractal audio effects unit that I use. And then I did a couple other shows. I played the last week I was there. I played two events a day, so it was busy, a little busy.
So you weren't producing any stuff. You were just doing gigs.
I did. I worked with 2 different artists.
You did?
Well,
while you were there,
I worked with one artist, 2 songs. I was supposed to work with another artist, but we ran out of time. And then
while you were in Australia.
In Australia, Michael Turner, I produced a song of his last year when I was there, and he hasn't released it yet. He wanted to have 2 more songs in a can before he released it. So we worked on 2 more songs, and I have to finish it. I'm back here in my studio. I'll have to finish it and then send it back to him. And then there's an artist that I was working with in Burbank, and Imiko, and she is a really great piano player, singer-songwriter, and working on her stuff as well.
Now, who's that just popped up on the screen? Who's that?
I don't know. Just somebody that tuned into the channel.
Hi, Kim. Great name. Great last name, Kim. She says she's an Aussie.
Yeah,
yeah, she's got your last name. Yeah, Mitchell. It's so cool.
I got to ask you, it happened on a Sunday. I listened to that.
Okay.
That was amazing. Okay. Oh. Great sound. I was like, that's the song. That's the sound I was hypnotized with.
Oh, okay.
The way you played that, you're just so natural. You just go at it. I was like, he's really tuned with his guitar, I have to say.
Oh,
thank you. That's my live Sunday night live stream, which is all mellow acoustic nylon string.
I love it.
And a lot of that is going to be improv, totally improvised off the cat. I do some of my songs for my acoustic records, but a lot of it is improvised right from the top. So.
Yeah, promote a little bit of that, Larry, about your shows you do on Tuesday and Sunday, right?
Yes, Tuesday night live. I've been doing for almost coming up on 8 years now, doing live stream, and that's more of my rock stuff. It used to be like an electric rock, blues, and then some acoustic. And then during the pandemic, I wanted to add a second day, and so I was adding Sunday. Because both of those days I usually don't have shows, but I travel. So I added the Sunday, and it was leaning towards more acoustic and then some electric. And then one day I was tired, but I have a wonderful core group of people I watch. There's a group of people I watch every Sunday, another group that watch every Tuesday, and then a really hardcore group that watch both shows every week for like years now, and they talk back and forth. And what I love is that I know some of them from their from messages they send me or from their social media, and they're all over the map spiritually and politically and stuff like that. And you would think that they would probably not sit down and talk with each other for any other reason, but on the live streams, there's no politics or religion. It's just music, food, and everyone's happy, and it's great. It's wonderful to see, and I love that. I love that the music can bring people together like that.
Too. I say the musicians are always in tune like that. They don't bring any drama into the mix.
Right.
One thing, it's different with the movie people, but the music people, they love what they do and they bring that out and everybody gets along. And that's why I love the music part the best.
Yeah. I think in
Absolutely.
the 60s, when you didn't have like news outlets and stuff like that, a lot of the musicians were political, and it made sense at that time period. But now we're bombarded with politics and religion, everything all the time. So I think of music as an escape from all of that right now, just so that, enjoy stuff.
Hallelujah, brother. 100%
On that Sunday, so that one Sunday I was really tired. I started acoustically, and I kept saying, and it was mellowing me out, and I kept saying, all right, I'm going to switch to electric any minute. And then there was a stream of people that were like, no, this is great. Stay there. This is really cool. The vibe. So that Sunday became all acoustic, and Tuesdays became all electric. And there were people I didn't know at the time, but after that, people started sending me messages. There were 5 people that I know of that sent me messages that were listening to Sunday nights. They were going through chemo, battling cancer, and they were like, "This is where I need to zone at." I was like, "All right, Sunday nights are acoustic, unless I'm traveling someplace and I don't have an acoustic, and then I will play electric." But I do it all the time. I do it. The live streams, I've done it from airports, people's backyards. I landed in Albuquerque once, and we couldn't find stable Wi-Fi. So we went into a coffee shop and said, "Hey, I got this live stream. I don't have any speakers, but I have headphones. And can I do it in the corner?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, do it." And then everybody in there tuned on their phones to listen to it and watch. But I didn't have a place to do it. So I should have stayed at the airport where the Wi-Fi was good. But we started trying it. I was like, we'll never make it. So I try and be consistent whenever, I try really hard to be consistent.
That's not personal. Like, remember Kurt Cobain in the middle with all the people around him in the chairs? I like stuff that's personal like that. That's good with the coffee shop. Must have been really nice.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Larry, you want to play us a little something while you're on the air?
I don't think it's going to sound good.
I can hear that. I can hear that.
Sounds good. As long as nobody talks, it'll sound good. I think as long as we don't talk on top of you, it'll sound good.
Try it.
You want something rocking or mellow?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want to do, brother.
Thanksgiving, whatever you want.
It's Larry Mitchell, legit. Hopefully there's thousands of people tuned in right now. Get ready for some magic. One of the best guitar players on the planet. I've always said that about Larry. Always. Right, Larry?
I don't know what that sounded like over the thing.
It's, I liked it.
We can hear it. As long as we can hear it, it sounded good.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No, I loved it. And you know what? I felt I was getting that old time feeling like when we used to be hanging out in the clubs and jam together and listening to your styles. I felt like crying just now. You know?
I heard Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page. I had all these people like in there, like just in my head, because you could sing that guitar like they used to make it talk, and that's how you were.
You know, that's my mom. She goes, play that song that you. She knows the names of the songs too, but she goes, play that song where. She always wants me to play the song where I make it talk.
It did make it talk. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent, brother. And like I was just saying, you know, I as you were playing, I had my eyes closed, and I was going back to the old days of hanging out in the clubs. And you know, we used to play the jams and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh man, you know, because you have that sound. You have Larry has his own sound, even though he's influenced by a all guitar players are influenced by other guitar players. I mean, growing
Sure.
up, and you're gonna even Van Halen. You listen to Hot for Teacher. You hear in the guitar solo, you hear all kind of Jimmy Page things going on, and
Oh yeah.
Alvin Lee things going on. So everybody's influenced by everybody.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow.
You're always gonna hear a little bit of something. I mean, even in my original songs that I've written, I've written many songs, and some of the songs I rip people off without even realizing it.
Oh yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you
I played on some of your songs.
are you
Yeah. Me and Larry we recorded 2 of my songs. Larry produced it, and we recorded right on a 4-track. You were living in Manhattan at that time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
I used to go there. We did Carry On and Can't Love Without You. We did 2 different versions of it.
That's right.
Wow. He was involved with that one, Can't Love Without You and Carry On. I listened
Yeah, I mean, I did 2. I already had them recorded, but I was talking to somebody from a record label or a music lawyer. I think it was Ron Beanstalk or somebody, and was saying to make it sound, change the style a little bit of the song, because it was very 80s, and now I think we were doing this in the 90s, right, Larry,
Midnight.
when you lived in the city? So we're already in the 90s, so we're trying to change it up a little bit, because they were saying, oh, it sounds dated, this and that, maybe you got to re-record it. So I called Larry, so let's see what we could do, and nothing came out of it. I mean, I sent the songs out, and it's just every week, you do something that change everything, and it's like, it's always constantly changing. So that's why you're better off just doing what you love to do. Like Larry, you didn't change it. You're still basically playing the way you always played, and you haven't worked a day job how many years? As long as I know you. Right.
Sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's not been good. But yeah, no, I've been doing my thing. Hopefully I've grown a little bit in different ways in music, but still doing me.
Oh yeah, no, and your style is
Let
amazing.
me ask you a question. When you played with Tracy Chapman and Billy Squire, were you on anything that we heard there?
No, I toured with them. I didn't play anything live. I probably could have and should have played on Give Me One Reason, because I toured with Tracy in 92, and the song wasn't released till 96, but we played that. We closed every night with that song on the world tour. But I didn't play on it. No.
I could see you playing on that song, because that was a good song.
Yeah,
but you would have done that, because you would have been great on that song. Wow.
Well, I wanted to ask you about a Rush tribute, because I love Rush. Did they ever get to hear you do a tribute to them with the band?
No, I'm pretty sure they haven't. They never did.
Were you the only ones doing Rush tribute, or were there other bands too? Because I've never heard of bands with doing it.
Oh yeah, back then there was another big band on Long Island. I can't remember their name that was doing a Rush tribute. I can't remember their name. That's early 80s.
I haven't heard anybody ever play a Rush tribute band.
Yeah, I heard Kiss tributes and certain other bands, but never heard Rush tribute.
Oh,
there's one that's out now, and I can't think of the name of it. That's in New York, but they're a 4-piece. Like most of the Rush tribute bands I've seen are 4-piece. Other than Rat Race Choir would sometimes do some Rush.
Oh, God.
What a great band! Forget
that. I remember they were Neighborhood Rat Race Choir. It was Steve Longo in that band.
Steve Luongo,
Mark Hitt.
Man, rest in
passed
peace.
away.
Yeah.
Who else?
I never met the bass player.
Who?
I never met the bass player.
Yeah, I know. Also, there was the other band from the neighborhood called which one was the band we were just talking about? One Hand Clap?
No, Rat Race Choir.
Rat Race Choir. Then there was a band called One Hand Clap that Steve Stevens was the guitar player.
Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah.
One Hand Clap. And my friend Steve, not Steve, I can't remember his name. He passed away as well. Chris Catalano. He used to come to all my open mic jams, and he was the drummer.
Catalano?
Okay. Huh?
I know a Chris Catalano. I didn't know that.
Yes, he passed away. Yeah, you know, he was from the neighborhood. Chris guy lives on Centerville. He used to come to all my open mic jams and play drums. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Small world, isn't it? Small world. It is a small world.
It really is.
So do you speak to Steve Stevens? Steve Stevens was the local. When I grew up in Far Rockaway, Steve Stevens was the local guitar legend.
Yeah.
He lived in Far Rockaway for a bit, and it's like, wow, that's what you got to do. All right, okay, it's like that's what I also miss about New York in those days. It was a healthy, I wouldn't call it a competition, but you went out and you saw some bands, you went to the jam, and you went home and go, it's 3:00, but I got to practice. It was a healthy, like, you saw people that, oh crap, that's what we're doing now. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta get better. I gotta get better. It wasn't like, oh, this person sucks, or where you beat someone down. You just go, wow, that's amazing. I have to practice. I get better. And Steve set the bar. He was the local guitar hero. I was like, okay, all right. And then he joined Billy Idol. It's like, okay, gotta get better. Gotta get better.
Wow.
Yeah, what happened with Steve? I know Steve is, and I knew his family, his dad, and everything. Now, Steve was with the band that we're talking on one hand. I always confuse Rat Ray Squire and One Hand Clock. One Hand Clock is the one Steve was in, and the band broke up, and Steve was very depressed. I heard, and he went running around record companies with a cassette tape of just him playing guitar, and the Chrysalis Records was signed Billy Idol.
Yep.
And they were looking for a guitar player for Billy Idol, and the guy at the A&R guy at the record company happened to have Steve's cassette on the thing, and he listened to it, and he called up the people with Billy Idol and said, I think I got a guitar player for you, and that's how Steve got his break.
Bill of Coin. Yep.
Yeah, he happened to just leave a cassette at some, like, I don't know who was it, Chrysalis, Paul Dave. There was a couple of guys over there. I remember I met a few of them when I used to go running around the record companies myself all day long. Oh, yeah. 5 days a week, I'd be running around. I get off the train. I go on the A train, get off in the city. I would go to Atlantic Records, drop off tapes. I would go to Geffen Records. I would go everywhere. And I'd walk in their offices. I had no intimidation. I walked into Lenny Peasy's office. I walked into Richard Ash's office, the president of Polygram. I would walk into Atlantic Records and walk into Ahmed Erdogan's office. Ahmed Erdogan. I said, Brother Ahmed, come on, I need a record deal, brother. All right, South. We're playing tomorrow night to China Club. Send one of you guys. I said, how are we gonna make millions together if you don't give me a record deal? And this I'm talking to Ahmed Erdogan, and he passed away too. Yeah. I mean, Larry, you know who Ahmed Erdogan was?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The founder, and he's created Atlantic Records. I mean, him and Clive Davis were like, always looking for bands back in the 60s. And I call up Ahmed Erdogan and say, come on, Ahmed, I need a record deal. Will you? All right, Sal, take it easy. Where you playing tomorrow night? And he would send the A&R guy, and I happened to suck, so I didn't get the deal.
You know what's bigger than a record streaming right now? And you guys probably know this. Anything in entertainment, as far as movies, TVs, or TV streaming. It's huge because of all the different artists that get involved and all the different entertainment people that get involved. You get heard more there than you ever do on any other radio station.
Oh, yeah. Well, even internet radio, like what we're doing right now. I mean, regular radio station and local radio stations only heard in New York. Internet radio is all over the world.
All over the world. Yep.
Internet radio is huge. And YouTube. Yeah. YouTube is huge.
These days, you're better off having a radio station or a show on the internet like what we're doing. Because anybody in the world could see it. But you listen to regular, 104.3 FM, it's just New York. You're driving into Jersey, you start to lose it,
Yeah.
This you don't lose all anyway. Hey, Larry, tell everybody, the audience and Gene and Fran, your experiences in Italy. I know you did some stuff in Italy, right?
I've been in Italy since 1988. I toured my first big tour. Carmine Rojas got me. And Alan Childs was the drummer. Warren McRae was the bass player. We were the three Americans. It was a Spanish-Italian singer named Miguel Bosé, who's huge. We had no idea. Huge. I think the average audience in Spain was 20,000 people.
Wow. Huge.
And so we went to Italy to rehearse for a little over a month, I think a month and a half. And it was great. Outside of Milan and Gallerate, and traveled all over Italy and played. And then we went to Spain, and he was much bigger in Spain. His father was a famous Spanish bullfighter, and his mom was an Italian model. and he had a big career since he was 12, or singing career since he was 12, and he's still around. And he's much older now, but yeah, that was my first time going to Italy and loving it. And then I went back in '92 with Tracy, and for the first time, we played Rome, and I remember sitting, and we had on Tracy's tour, we had a private plane, small plane, but it was a private plane, and we were sitting there waiting for the plane in this tiny little airport, and someone goes, "Man, I would have loved to like gone sightseeing in Rome," and I think one by one we're like, "Yeah, I've been to Rome before, but never seen like the Vatican and all this stuff." And Tracy even said, "Yeah, she'd been to Rome, but she hadn't done that." And Steve Thornton, the percussionist, great percussionist, he's like, we have our own plane, right? We don't have to leave right now. And it was like, oh wow. And she told the tour manager told the pilots to go back to the hotel. We called the promoter, and we got a nice private tour of like everything, like cutting the line at Disney. It was amazing.
Wow.
It's great.
Now
and
you see that Larry. I'm sorry, guys.
I was going to say, since then, I've gone back to do my shows. For a while, I was going back every year. And 1 year, I went back and did some shows. And there was a couple that had come to see me play. They had driven like 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours to see me play. And I was talking to them. They said, "Hey, why don't you come hang out with us for 4 days?" I'm like, "I can't. Thank you, but I can't just hang out with you guys for 4 days." No, you have 4 days off. I'm like, "I don't have 4 days off." They go, "Yeah, you have 4 days off." And the promoter comes over and goes, "Larry, bad news. These shows didn't get confirmed, so you have like 4 days off. Where do you want to stay? Do you want to stay in a small town at a cheap hotel here?" Yeah. And I was like, "Can I go stay with them in Rome?" He goes, "Do you know them?" I said, "No." "You want to stay with them?" "They seem harmless. They seem nice." So I stayed with some friends. I said one friend, and then got together with them, and they gave me a little bit of tour in Rome at night, and it was amazing. I've been on a couple runs around in Rome, and it's just all roads lead to Rome, man. All roads lead to Rome.
Yeah, I saw pictures of you sitting in the having dinner with all the Italian people. I said, "Look, Brother Larry, he's having some lasagna over there."
Well,
I'm a paisan. I'm not even over there. Brother Larry's over there having a good party.
It's great. It's been really great. I enjoy Rome. I enjoy Italy.
And Larry just mentioned a few names that maybe Gene, a friend, didn't catch or don't recognize. He mentioned Carlos Alomar and Alan
Carmine Rojas. Carmine
Rojas. Okay.
Yeah. Rojas.
I always confuse them two, but Carmine Rojas, the bass player, he toured with Julian Lennon, and now he's playing with Joe Bonamassa. Am I right?
Well, not anymore. But
Carmine
was like Patti LaBelle's music director. He was David Bowie's music director.
Oh yeah.
He played with Rod Stewart, Tina Turner, I believe. Carmine played with everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And also Alan Childs, which was just his birthday. If you guys notice, I put up "Happy Birthday, Brother Alan Childs," a picture of me and Lennon. That's Alan Child played with Larry on that thing in Italy.
Yeah, and the tour before that, he was on the Glass Spider tour with Carmine, with David.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Jesus.
And now he's right now. Isn't he doing Rock of Ages in Las Vegas right now?
No, he did. No, that's over. He's on tour with John Waite again, because he played with them 8 years ago. And I saw them. They played in Montgomery, Alabama. I saw them. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Do you have any Grammy? Do you have any Grammy stories that you can tell us?
I don't have any Grammy. I have a Grammy, but I don't have any Grammys. Other than the fact that I produced this record, and it was a Native American record, and it was not on my radar. So it was a series of 3 records. The first record I loved. It came out, and it's really great. And I remember talking to the record company guy. He goes, "Yeah, it didn't make the first round of the Grammys." I'm like, "Why would it?" That was just it's like, why would you think it would make the first round of the Grammys? It wasn't even in my radar. And he goes, "But the second one will." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then the second one came out, and it was nominated. I was like, "Oh, all right." But we didn't think we were going to win, me and the artist and I. And as Robert Mirabal, and we did a show the night before, and in Florida at the Hollywood Casino, and in Florida, and we were at the sound check. We were going, we should probably go, but it was too late. It was the 50th anniversary of the Grammys. I didn't have tickets. His passes were back in Taos, New Mexico. Nobody was there. His whole family was on the road with us. There's no way to get him in time, and so we just watched it on TV the next day, and it's like, oh, we won. And then we said, if we get nominated again, we'll go. And the third one got nominated but did not win. But we didn't go either. So should have gone.
And is that what Gene just pulled up?
No, I put his ticket for his shows, upcoming shows. Can you say your shows, Larry, for the listeners, and where they can get the tickets?
Okay, so it should be a link right there in the tickets. I'm not sure how to get the tickets other than to hit that link on my website,
right?
LarryMitchell.com.
But where are they going to be and the date and stuff?
This Friday is in St. Louis, or it says St. Peters, Missouri, but it's right outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and it's at Diamond Music Hall. And it's a show I did last year with this guy Jeremiah Johnson, and he put like a mini guitar festival kind of show on with 3 guitar players. And it was a blast. It's a huge venue, and people were there because they're in town from visiting family stuff, and lots of guitar fans. Jeremiah's more of a blues guitar player, so it was a nice mixture. It wasn't too much of any one thing, and we had a nice jam afterwards. We gave away a guitar. We auctioned off a guitar, and the winner got to come on stage and jam with the 3 of us. There was 3 guitar players and full rhythm section and everything. But it's a blast. So that's this Friday, and then next Friday and Saturday are my birthday shows, and I live in Opelika, Alabama, so it's a small town. It's right downtown, and just found out recently that that's the night that the town puts on their parade right outside where I'm playing. And like a tree and the whole bit, so it should be interesting. And that's on Friday night, and then Saturday night is in a place called Warehouse. That's at the Sound Wall, and then Saturday night is at Warehouse 231 in Montgomery, Alabama, and that's about 45 minutes to an hour away from where I am. 45 to 50 minutes away from where I am now, and it's a really, really great venue. It's a venue that looks like it's like holds 1,000 people, but it only holds like 140. But it just has that vibe about it, and they put so much production, and there's a whole video wall. So I got my videos to project on there. Massive lights. It just feels like like you're in a big concert, kind of, like a 1,000, like the Palladium, kind of something like that. It just has that vibe to it. But it's only 140 people, and that's how I'm going to celebrate my birthday. And then what's not on here is an artist that I produced since 1999, Randy Driscoll with an I at the Driscoll with DRISCOLL, is doing her annual Christmas tour, and so we have one in Burbank, one in Burbank, and Pasadena, San Diego, and then Nashville. So I'm going to do that with her, and I'll play a little bit with her, and I'll do. It's like it's a variety show. There's a lot of people performing, so I'll get to do some of my stuff, and then I'll get to play with her and maybe come to some of the other artists and stuff. So that's my December.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, you should, Sal. We should hook him up with Desi in Nashville when he goes down.
Well, it's funny because
he looks
there's
like
so much resemblance, right, with Desi and Larry.
Yeah,
those guys have the same image, like with the cowboy hats.
Absolutely, they're
right?
like brothers. They're like brothers.
Okay, yeah, they compare for brothers. I don't know, Larry. I'll send you who he is. You'll become friends with him. He's probably watching the show because he said he was going to check it out, and I tagged everybody on the show, so I bet you either watching it, huh?
Did you guys tag him?
Oh, I tagged everybody. Yeah. Oh, I tagged hundreds of people. And they know about it. So at the end of the show, Larry, we could see on YouTube how many people were actually on live while we're on. Yeah, that are on right now.
I gotta ask you before we go. Have you done anything with any famous Nashville people? Any country music?
I was on The Price is Right with Reba,
Oh,
but not playing. Yeah, we did play backstage. I was Reba was on giving away tickets for the CMAs,
okay.
and Heidi Newfield. She was in. I forgot what band she was in. I forgot what band she was in. She's a country singer, so we got to jam a little bit during the commercial break, and I was just the prize behind door number 3.
Oh, wow.
You guessed the right price, and there I popped out.
So, Brother Live, you hung out with Reba. She
Reba's
owns
awesome.
Starstruck Entertainment in Nashville. Starstruck Entertainment is owned by Reba.
Okay.
And I've been trying to get her my Christmas songs forever. I figured she might want to sing one of my Christmas songs. Here I am, my brother, my good friend Larry that I've known for 40 years, is hanging out with Reba, and I didn't even know it.
That was on The Price is Right, though. That was a while ago. 2010, I think it was. The Price is Right.
That's good. I was trying to get to do it even then. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
But it just goes to show we all know so many people, and it doesn't matter sometimes. I could be friends with Paul McCartney, and that still doesn't matter. Doesn't mean I'm going to get a record out. People say it's who you know. Not really, depending on the situation.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Because I've known everybody. I mean, music is especially. I mean, Jason Flom is a good friend of mine, and Jason Flom owns Lava Records, and I keep in touch with him now. Even and he just married Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Oh.
And he says to me, Sal, he goes, I like your songs, but I have no place for them. These days it's business and it's music. Just because we're friends doesn't mean he's going to take my songs and do something with it. Yeah. So he tells me straight out, he says, Sal, the songs are good, but I have no place for them in my discography or whatever. What do they call it when they got a bunch of people that they bring songs to or whatever? I forgot the words for it. Larry, you want to talk about it?
I can't think of the word.
Yeah.
Their artists, their roster.
The roster. That's it, the roster. Is I really don't have any place for these songs in my roster. Because you see the music that's going on right now. I mean, the new stuff is completely different than what we do.
Yeah. There's still, Nashville is the place if you're trying to get your songs placed with somebody. Nashville is the place to do that.
Definitely. Exactly.
Oh, here it
Even
is.
though I have a few friends of mine, they flew to Nashville to try to get things off the ground, and they couldn't get anything happening either. But it is a better place to be these days. They actually still have record labels and signing people that actually come out on CD in there.
Yeah, the music business is a little funky right now. Slowly, they're replacing a lot of the people and creative people in music business with catalog. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Cheryl, babe.
Good friend of ours.
She's a sweetheart. We love her.
Cool. So these days they're replacing a lot of creative people with tech people. So it's interesting where it's going to go, especially with AI.
I was going to say AI's getting into this, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
It happens.
AI, that thing that Gene uses, right? Gene, you use
right.
it.
Well, yeah. The thing is, the funny thing with AI is, I never was going to do it. But one of my musician friends says, you got to do this. He said, you've been trying to write songs for 40 years. He said, not only this will help you, but this will also help get the structure down and you can do everything you want to do. It's like going in the studio. And I'm like, no way. And I tried it and I'm like, wow, this is freaking amazing. I never realized how hard it was to get everybody in the studio, to pay everybody, right? I'd still be waiting 20 years for that.
Yeah,
I already waited 40 years. I can't wait another 20. So I might as well utilize what I got. So that's what I've been doing. And I've been creative juices have been flowing and stuff. And, I have one friend, he plays my new music and all the music I send him, he plays it on his show. And his show goes out to 9 other radio stations. And they're all indie artists on there, and I'm an indie artist, even though I've been playing indie artists for 28 years. It's weird, but it's not that I want to make a career out of it, Larry. I just want to show what I can do. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
It's got its place.
Good songs. It doesn't matter. A good song is a good song, no matter how it's done.
The problem
that is true.
The problem with AI, though. The problem with AI is that, they're training different AIs on existing music.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, what you mean?
you know, we'll put it this way: you saw that ABBA was on tour, right, recently, but it's hologram versions of them.
Mhm.
And that same company signed a deal with Kiss, so Kiss can essentially be on tour for the next 50 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So when you train AIs and you say, all right, so Sal, your career has been great and stuff like that, but you're 75. We're gonna put out your next record, written by somebody here. This is in the style of Taylor Swift, but with your voice and your shaped towards your audience and stuff like that. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
That's when it starts to get a little funky.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. I'm surprised they haven't done that with like Elvis. They could probably do Elvis concerts.
It's going to happen.
Gotta be coming.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
And don't forget all the big bands like the Eagles, because my good friend that wrote all the songs like Tequila Sunrise and everything, he said, and he was just a songwriter, he never thought them songs would go anywhere. He really didn't.
Mhm.
And, and the Eagles broke up, and Glenn Fry died, and, they got all these different things.
Yeah.
So you never know what's going to happen, like you said, with the holographic, but also at the same time, it brings people a lot of memories back.
Yeah.
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 Didn't they already do something like that with Elvis and Celine Dion?
Yes. Well, I don't know with Celine, but with Elvis, me and a friend of mine, Jeff Copeland, we were in Brooklyn. For a minute there, I moved back to Brooklyn in 2000, all of 2000 to 2001. And his sister called and said she had extra tickets to go see Elvis at Madison Square Garden. And we're like, what? Because, yeah. So we went. We were like, oh, this is going to be so bad. We went. It was amazing. It was Elvis's band on stage, right? And then they had big screens, and the screen in the middle always said Elvis. What they did was, you remember the first live simulcast TV show around the world was Elvis live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that was filmed, multi-camered, and recorded, stuff like that.
Right.
So all of his vocals are Elvis, and you're watching him on the center screen the whole time.
Wow.
And then side screens would go back and forth with, like, when the guitar player would do solo, they would show him currently and then show him back during that time period. He'd be on the video. Same with some of the background singers. And the drummer had headphones on, and they must have created a click through the entire. Someone had to create a click through the entire concert to let you know when the song is coming up. Someone had to go back, listen to the live show. Remember, they weren't playing to a click back then, so someone had to make a click.
You're right.
So that the band basically plays in time with Elvis's voice. His voice is not going to change.
Right.
Wow. It was a standing ovation. It was amazing.
You know what's wild? Because like these days, even if you go see a big famous person who is alive and you're sitting way up in the seats, most of the people are watching the big screen anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same thing almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to see Paul McCartney at Barclays in Brooklyn. I mean, we had pretty decent seats, but you find yourself looking at the big screen because it's so close up.
Yeah.
Even though Paul McCartney's like right over there, but I'm looking at the screen because that's like close up. So it's like I'm watching TV, Yeah. Unbelievable. It's really wild. It really is wild, the things that they could do. I say who's that? Hey, is that Debbie?
Larry saying hi.
Who's that?
Everybody. Larry Mitchell saying hi to everybody on the radio and everybody out there.
So
If you
Larry,
watch this, guys.
what are you going to be doing? So you're going to be doing these 3 shows. You said soon, your birthday, and you have any like big things going on with any big names in the future that you want to tell us about, or you can't talk about, or?
Not that I mean, I always go to the NAMM show. There's always I've done a jam there, or a show that's turned into a jam the last 11 years in the Marriott lobby. It's massive. I've had Vernon Reid, Andy Timmons, Ali Venable, who else? Richie Kotzen. I got lots of people on the jam and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and get Doug Penny to come out this time and jam, actually play. We'll see. We'll see if he'll do
You know
it.
what? You got the mic right now. Who would you shout out to if they can hear you in this world right now that you want to play with? Now you got the open world. Everybody's watching, listening. Who is it that you would like to play with the most of all?
Yeah,
Peter
make it
Gabriel,
quest.
Peter Gabriel, and Tori Amos. Those are my
All right.
first picks.
Wow.
They're listening.
Peter Gabriel. How old is Peter Gabriel these days? He's got.
You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Roll him out the wheelchair. I don't care.
You'll wake him up, right?
He's great.
Brother
He's
Larry, how
probably-
about a nice rock tune this time? It's before you melt. How about some like rock and roll there?
All right, Sal, here you go.
Here we go.
Oh.
Queuing up the tune. He's
Gotcha.
queuing it up, folks. Technical difficulties. This one's for Carol. Ah. That's one of my favorite. That's from Larry's first solo album.
Really good.
Yeah.
I know that song like the back of my hand. I can't play it with the back of my hand, but I know that song every note. I mean, that you saw was airplaying.
Yes.
And I knew everything going on.
Doing it.
That's a great album. That was who produced that? David Whitman.
Yeah, Dave Whitman.
Yeah, I bet you're surprised I remember that.
Yeah.
David Whitman.
So Dave recorded the Kiss 4 track that they got signed with, and then I think he did the first 4 or 5 Kiss albums.
Yes.
As a mix engineer and engineer, he didn't produce it.
Right.
And he mixed Eric Clapton's Journeyman. He mixed Rebel Yell, the Billy Idol record. He mixed a ton of like iconic major recorres.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that your album. I mean, I love all your albums. The first one is a masterpiece. I play it, and I know every song. Like when you play a Beatle album, you know every song. Larry's first album, I know every song, like every note. I know what's happening, and I could like not sing along, but how do you say lead along?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch with Evil. Some of the Evil was that Evil?
It starts with Gabi Trust and ends with Evil.
Yeah, right.
There was Time, Political Rain.
Political. What about the one? I like the one that goes. It's right. Is it the last track on the album?
The Evil's last track. Evil's last track.
Yeah, Evil's the last track, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that album. Matter of fact,
but a trivia for you to look up. Political Rain is not about any. Obviously, it's from 1990. Actually, in '89. Political Rain's about remember when New York City had 14 garbage trucks stolen?
Oh gosh, I remember that. Yeah,
and then they found some in neighboring cities and states, and I always go, wait. So so there's a mayor in a small town that goes, that's having a meeting, and the head of the sanitation goes, "Hey, Mr. Mayor, we need some new garbage trucks," and he goes, "I don't know if we can afford them. They're like 110 grand." Somebody goes, "Hey, I know a guy. 20 grand, 30 grand tonight under the bridge, cash. Don't pay 100 grand." Cities bought those stolen garbage trucks. Cities.
They bought them back.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
I mean,
filled with money.
Yeah.
Wait, you gotta give me a few seconds of bow down, 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 down. Hey, Larry, what about we picked up? I used to always pick up the guitar by the whammy bar. I always was afraid that was gonna break on you one day.
I've broken a couple of guitars over the years.
Yeah, you guys see Larry. As he plays, takes the whammy bar and just holds it like wow, wow. Oh my God, it's gonna break.
I'll just give you a little bit.
Yeah, I love this. One of my favorites. Pop, 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 pop.
Always waiting for the drummer. Always waiting for the drummer.
Always waiting for the drums.
I tried, Sal.
Oh, well, that was a tease. That was a tease.
Hard to do that sitting down. Very hard to do.
Amazing.
You guys got to get Larry's first CD. I mean, he's got a lot.
Somebody got to send me the music. I'll start playing it right away. I love everything he played already.
Absolutely. Yeah, Larry, definitely send. You guys email each other, or you can send it to me. I'll send it to him, or And he's always playing stuff on Hamilton radio, right?
Well, I love this stuff. I love stuff like this because it makes us so unique. Because maybe somebody else is playing it, but not everybody that's heard my station plays it. So that's something new.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely send you some stuff.
I actually put something on my page that I got off your page today, and I'm gonna just put it on my film and music page. Anything I see, I'm just gonna, with your permission, put it up there. And if you want anything, send it to me.
Okay.
And I can invite you onto my music page also.
Thank you.
You can post on there.
I think Larry, I think I invited you to her page today. I don't know if you saw it. I also invited you to the China Court page, but I did invite you to Fran's page today.
Okay. I haven't been on. I was traveling. I was doing rehearsal and traveling back and forth.
Try to get there. And get, I put something up on there today, but I wanted, if you can put stuff on there, it'd be great, because there's a lot of musicians on there. They would love that.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. So Sal, I got one Bob Dylan story for you. You like Bob Dylan? You like Dylan?
You guys, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Gene loves Dylan. Yeah.
Okay. So, during the Tracy Chapman tour, we were rehearsing in San Francisco. Was it the first part of the tour? I think it was the second part. I don't remember which part of the tour. But at one of the rehearsals, Tracy goes, "I'm going to go see Bob Dylan. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Sure." So she picked me up. We went to the Warfield Theater in San Francisco, and we go in like everybody else. She had tickets. We pay, and we did the tickets. Walk in, and Tracy was so matter of fact. She goes, "I'm gonna go downstairs and say hello to Bob. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Yes." Okay. So we go downstairs, and underneath the Warfield Theater, from all the stuff, the famous Warfield Theater, from all the stuff, the green room is down there, and they have like basically a med unit down there. They have a whole triage part there for people who OD, I guess, or whatever reason. And there's always a volunteer EMTs there. So we meet Bob. He's very cool, but he's Bob Dylan. That's all I can say. He's been Bob Dylan for a very long time. We meet him. It was very nice to meet him. See the show. It's great. And then I thought we were going to go back and hang out, but nope, that was it. So we go. She dropped me back off my hotel. Then we go on tour. We're in the south of France, and we do this show that's right on the water, amphitheater right on the water. And our hotel, usually, Sal, I think you noticed, but usually when you have a big artist, when you go into a town, you separate them. If you're going to stay in that town, separate them from the band and the crew, because the band and crew attract attention. You know what I mean? Yeah. The band and crew, so you never put them at the same hotel unless you absolutely have to, unless if the gig is too close to the hotel. Yeah. But this time, our hotel was right across the street. Tracy was there as well. It was a hotel, and then like big wide lane highway with a walkover bridge to the beach, and then the amphitheater. So we could see the hotel from where we were at parts of the venue. And we do the show, and they get Tracy out of there right away. So when they do that, when the hotel's too close, they will not usually drive the bus to the hotel because people will follow the bus. They'll put you in a limo or car or van and take you all the way on the other side of town to a restaurant, even if you've just eaten, and you sit there for a while, and then they'll put you in another car and get you someplace else, back to the hotel. But so I knew this was coming, and I was really tired. I wanted to go back to my room. And I'm sitting on the bus thinking this bus is going to drive all over town, lose everybody. Then we'll get out and go back to the hotel in cars or whatever. And I said to the tour manager, I said, I'm just gonna walk to the hotel. And he goes, all right. So I'm walking, and there's 4 people, 2 couples start following me, and they're asking me, hey, we saw you play, and how's Tracy? Where's Tracy? I said, Tracy left before we hit the last note of the last song. Tracy was gone, right? And I said, I don't know where she's at. She could be out eating. She could be in a hotel room resting. And they're talking. They're very nice. And so we're walking across the bridge, and one couple goes, hey, will you sign this for us? And they had something for me to sign. They had a magic marker. So I'm signing and walking, and then ask some more questions. And then they leave. I say goodbye. And the other couple goes, oh, cool. And they ask me some questions. They go, will you sign this for us? And I said, I don't have a marker. Do you have a marker? No, we don't have a marker. So right then, I'm approaching the yard, the courtyard of the hotel. And I open the gate, and I go in. There's only one table of people sitting outside. And the rest of the hotel is dead. and the couple really young were right behind me. And so I go to the first person at the table, go, excuse me, do you have a pen? The guy goes, no, I don't have a pen. I don't have a pen. Go to the next person, no, I don't have a pen. Third person, no, I don't have a pen. Fourth person pulls his sunglasses and looks at me and stares. And as I'm going, excuse me, do you have a pen? I look down, and my mind is going, that's Bob Dylan.
Oh.
I just asked Bob Dylan for a pen.
Oh my God.
And magically, everyone else was like, here's a pen, here's a pen, here's a pen. The people that said no, they didn't have a pen, magically had pens. So imagine the silence as Bob is still staring at me, and the other people like angry, and then the couple has no clue, and I'm just sitting there writing my name, and they go, they didn't recognize that was Bob. So I go, I'm so sorry. I play with Tracy, and I had my lineman on, and we just did the show, and there Bob was playing the next night, I guess, or the next 2 nights or whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay, all right. And I walked in. So the next day I had to go, Tracy. If anybody says anything to you, last night I asked Bob Dylan for a pen to sign an autograph, for me to sign an autograph for 2 people that followed me back from the venue. And she's like, well, what did he say? I said, he didn't say anything. He just stared at me in a very Bob Dylan way. That's my Bob Dylan story.
You know, and it makes a lot of sense what you're saying, because Bob Dylan is a legend. There's no doubt about it. But if he doesn't dress very like a rock star or a star, you pass him around the street and not realize who it is. He like the way Larry Mitchell looks. Look like Larry Mitchell, a hat, the clothes, stand up. The way I dress every day, normal. I walk into people like, who is this guy? You know, we look like stars even if we're not stars. Yeah. Bob Dylan is a super duper star, and he doesn't dress the part.
If I had been paying attention, I probably would have realized it was Bob Dylan.
I mean, I would realize it too, because his face for so long. You know, you put Michael Jackson right here, and you put Bob Dylan over here. Who's going to stand out? Right? I mean, the sunglasses, the flashing jackets.
Although if you have Michael Jackson, Bob Dylan, and Prince, Bob will stand out.
Yeah.
Right, because now all of a sudden he's the outcast. Did you guys watch? I don't know how much time we got left, Gene, but I'm having the ball over here. It's up to you.
We're going I'm going about another 10 minutes.
Perfect.
I'm going to go about half an hour, but that's good. For Larry, we're good.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch I mean, of course, We Are the World years ago, but the new one that's on Netflix right now, did you happen to watch that?
No.
The making of We Are the World. Remember that?
Oh, no.
Oh, there's a brand new one on Netflix. It's like much longer and all this extra stuff you've never seen before. And it's amazing how Lionel Richie's talking about how Bob Dylan, he was so nervous with all those people. In the meantime, he's probably like, his name is, he's been around way before most of the people that are on that show when they did that video and that song. Yeah. But yet he can't sing like that. You know, he can't sing, We Are the World. You know, he talks. We are the world.
Yeah.
There's a choice we're making. Huh?
Have you guys seen the Basement Tapes, the documentary on Apple TV?
No.
So the Basement Tapes are all these songs that they found that he'd written lyrics to, but no music.
Oh.
And some of it's out, some of it's been recorded. People heard about him and wrote music to it and recorded it. But they got a handful of artists. I want to think, I'm drawing a blank. Elvis Costello is one. I think it's one of the guys from the Black Keys. I can't remember, but T-Bone Walk produced it, and it's great. They basically take these lyrics, and all 5 of them write their own music and melody to it, and then they listen to everybody's version, and then they kind of pick. Some of the songs have 2 versions, and then they all play it. They brought in very few outside studio musicians, but they all sat there and played it. And it's great. It's a great documentary on about. But yeah, it's Apple TV. It's really great.
Definitely got to check that out. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, the one on Bob Dylan, he was so nervous. Meantime, because he wasn't singing along, because they're all singing. What Quincy Jones is like telling them, "We are the world," and he just can't sing like that.
They're all harmonizing.
Right, they're all harmonized. And you see him stand in the middle.
Yeah.
And then when it was time for him to sing his part,
Yeah.
he couldn't do that either. So he basically just told him, be Bob Dylan. Just be yourself.
Yep.
And he was like, that's one. There's a choice we're making.
Yeah.
We're saving our own lives. It's
Yeah.
true. We make a better day, just you and me. He
Yeah.
couldn't go, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives.
I bet everyone in there could do an impression of Bob Dylan too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen, I heard this story, were in the back eating donuts, and they really didn't know when to come in. They had no idea when to come in. So they just came in. You know, it was like one of them just happenstance type of things.
Cool.
It wasn't scripted at all. So, because they missed the whole thing. They didn't thought they were just gathering for something. They didn't tell them what it was about. It was just a whole weird story. They were just eating donuts.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little chilly down here. It's got cold outside. Turn the heat down before. I know. It's like weird because if you watch that, they did it all in one night.
Yeah.
And it was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They were losing their voices, and
But just to
you got to sing. It's 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, just to get all those people in the same room probably took forever.
Yeah,
Amazing. Everyone is amazing in their own right. Yep.
Yeah, and so many, and it's very sad. I mean, I watched it twice, but I watched that and it brings me back to the good old days. That was 1984, I think, or 85.
Yeah, the early.
And so many people are gone from there.
Yeah.
So many people. Oh my God.
We're
Right?
in the era
Think about it.
We're in the era of rock and roll history disappearing.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah.
Sad. That scares me.
I'm watching and I'm seeing Kenny Rogers gone. Now Quincy Jones is gone. Michael Jackson gone.
Yeah.
So many. Oh my God.
Michael Jackson.
And you know what's funny? What's funny about it? Ray Charles was in it too. But don't forget what started this whole thing was Band-Aid for Christmas.
Yes.
That started, and then that We Live the World was the extra thing they did afterwards with all these different other musicians.
Yeah, then it started. Yeah, well, Bob Geldof from the Boomtown Rats.
Bob Geldof, right? Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Bob Geldof was the first one to do that with "Do They Know It's Christmas?"
Yep.
And I remember. And then he showed up, right? He went there he was there for that whole thing with "We Are the World," and he talked right before they all started.
Yes, he
I don't
did.
want to
Yep.
impress anybody, but
Get the new generation to do this again, so we could bring this back again. Like, well, even not just the big names, but the up and coming people too. That would bring like such an awesome thing to the music world. People,
definitely. A lot of it's still going on in other countries. They do benefit songs. I've been wanting to do my Gold Star Mothers, for a long time. I had talked to Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. He wanted to do it. I talked to Ted Nugent. He wanted to do it. And it's just hard to get everybody together. Everybody lives in all different places.
everybody.
You remember my song Gold Star Mothers, Larry? About all the mothers who lost their sons in the war. I played it all the time. And
Can you sing?
I wanted to do like a thing for the what's it called? The Wounded Warriors.
Oh yeah, sure.
I figured maybe do a song for the Wounded Warriors, and where we'd have the same type of thing like We Are the World. Everybody sings a line, and get it out there and try to raise money for the Wounded Warriors. But I was on the road with it for a while. I was on the phone with people.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Robin Sandy. He goes, "Yeah, let's do it, brother. Let's do it." Yeah. And who else? I called a few other guys. I don't remember who.
For Larry.
Well, yeah, Larry was going to be definitely going to be one of the guys. I was too. I was just trying to make it happen. It's like, but so hard to do.
It happened. Hey, it's the new year coming in. We should make something big happen like that. I really want to do something like that.
Go out on a bang. Go out on a bang.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you say? It's 10:30. Well, I guess we'll have to wrap it up.
How can you wrap it up with a guy like this?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Brother Larry.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much, man.
Well, great, brother Larry. Love you, man. So
Yeah, you're really good, man.
I'm feeling like the old days right now. You know.
We got to get you back to New York, and we got to get to Mulcahy's. We got to figure this out.
Okay, I'd love to.
Well, you know, Larry, he flies around anyway. You tell him he'll be there.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd love to. I used to come back to New York at least a couple of times a year, but I haven't been back. I haven't played in New York in a long time, so I would love to.
Long Island is good for the music. You know, you've been out here. It's still so that'd be great.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, Larry's a regular. I mean, you know, he was for most of his life. You were here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When did you move to Alabama?
Well, I moved in '95. I moved to San Diego. 2000, I moved back to Brooklyn.
So '95 is when me and you were recording, because I remember coming to your house the night before that to pick up the stuff that we were using to record. That you even gave it to me in like one of those cooler bags or bags to keep things cool. Remember that night?
I don't remember. I remember working on the song. I don't remember the prep.
Yeah, because you were leaving the next day, so I had to come to your house to pick up the 4-track and all that stuff.
Okay. And then 2001, I moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I lived in Santa Fe for 10 years. I loved it. Learned how to ride horses. Loved it there. And then 2012, I got divorced and my stepfather passed away, and I came to help, spend time with my mom. That's why I'm in Alabama.
I didn't even know you got married. You just said you got divorced.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Did you marry that lovely lady that you were living with when we were working in the city?
No,
it wasn't her. Okay.
No.
But you were living with, I forgot her name, but you were living
Diane.
with
Oh, no. Oh, no. That was Paula.
Paula, that's it. I remember. Yeah, when you lived in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't know you got married, brother. Congratulations.
Well,
I got to say congratulations. I mean, I didn't say it to him when you got married. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Happy birthday and happy Thanksgiving, Larry.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Who's
Paul
must be watching? Look.
Paul Ellie's doing it.
He didn't even say nothing. He just, you're too much.
No, I think you did that. Wait
a minute. Jesus Christ.
Paul.
You did
We
that.
forgot to give Paul a shout out. We forgot to give Paul a shout out.
Give him a shout out now. Paul, thank you for everything you do.
Yeah.
He creates the posters, puts the music towards it and everything.
Yeah, and I was telling Larry earlier that the posters, I see how many people are listening to the song on the poster. And every poster has at least over 100 listens.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Right on the bottom, it shows it. I could only see it. And it shows, 95 on one, 110 on one poster, 105. Right. So they're actually listening to the song. It's great.
Wow. Crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very cool. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you,
Happy
guys.
Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for listening and thanks for being here.
I'll send you both some music. Sal, I think you're doing that. You're on a Mac?
What's that?
Are you on a Mac?
No, that's not me. That's Paul doing that.
He's on the phone. He's on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my little phone. I can only see you guys. I'm going to watch it on YouTube as soon as it's over.
Apple has these weird has these weird things where you make hand gestures and it does stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was doing this, so you thought that
Yeah.
Paul. No, and Paul every once in a while puts the thumbs up on there too.
Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Take it easy.
Take care. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. All right, it was good.
That was good.